Good morning students. We are talking about human geography of Tamil Nadu. Under that we finished with agriculture, geographical determinants of agriculture, major crops of Tamil Nadu, livestock and fishing in Tamil Nadu. Now try to answer my questions. From where is the term agriculture is derived from? It is derived from the Latin word ager and cultura, means field and growing. Where is Rice Research Institute located? It is located in Adudurai, Thanjavur. Which is a granary of Tamil Nadu, the deltaic region of Kaveri, that is Thanjavur district. What is called second green revolution? Organic farming is called second green revolution, and which is called poor man's cow, goat. Now we'll move into other concepts of this lesson. The first one is about water resources. Water is a precious gift of nature to humankind and other species living on the earth. And Tamil Nadu constitutes 4% of land, and it was inhabited by 6% of population and 2.5% of water resources. In Tamil Nadu, we are using 95% of surface water, that is water available in the open spaces, and 80% of groundwater. So interior of the earth we are using 80% of water. That is about the water resources of Tamil Nadu. Regarding the surface water resources in Tamil Nadu, we have river basins, 17 rivers. Totally in Tamil Nadu, we have 17 rivers, and reservoirs, that is dams. Totally we have 81 dams, and tanks. Here tanks means lakes. We have 41,127, and tube wells and other wells we have 4,98,644, and open wells we have 15 lakhs 6,919, and totally in Tamil Nadu we have 20 lakhs 46,788 million cubic meters of water. MCM means million cubic meters of water. So that is about the surface water resources of Tamil Nadu. We are considering water as a precious gift of nature as well as a scarce object also. So we are constructing dams and reservoirs to store our water. So that we are calling that as multi-purpose river valley projects. Under that multi-purpose river valley projects, these are designed for the development of irrigation for agriculture and hydropower generation. We are generating hydroelectric power also, as well as we are using for drinking as well as for industrial purpose. We are using this water, so we are calling that as multi-purpose river valley projects. Under that, first one is about Mettur Dam. Mettur Dam was constructed in a gorge where river Kaveri enters into the plains of Tamil Nadu, and it is one of the oldest dam in India, and it provides irrigation to Salem, Erode, Karur, Tiruchi, Thanjavur, Tiruvarur and Nagapattinam districts. So that is about Mettur Dam. Actually it was constructed over river Kaveri, and it irrigates many districts of Tamil Nadu. The next one is about Bhavanisagar Dam. It is located 80 kilometers from Coimbatore city in the district of Erode. The dam is one of the biggest earthen dams in the country. Earthen dams, that is, it was built with clay, sand and gravel. That is the meaning of earthen dams. That is about Bhavanisagar Dam. The next one is Amaravati Dam. It is situated 25 kilometers away from Udumalaippet in Tirupur district, and this has been constructed across river Amaravati, a tributary of Kaveri. So it was constructed over river Amaravati, so it was called as Amaravati Dam. The next one is about Krishnagiri Dam. It is situated at a distance of 7 km from Krishnagiri towards Dharmaburi for river Kaveri. The next one, Sathanur Dam. It was constructed across river Tenpennai in Chengam Taluk, and it is the midwest of Chennakesava Hills, and it irrigates the land of Thandarampet and Tiruvannamalai blocks. So that is about our Sathanur Dam. The next one is about Mullai Periyar Dam. Mullai Periyar Dam, it was constructed over Periyar River, which originates from Thekadi Hills of Kerala. In early days, heavy floods occur in Kerala in the Thekadi River, that is in Periyar River, as well as in Tamil Nadu, it faces drought over this region. So to control this flood as well as to divide water between these two places, the British man Sir John Pennywhick, he built this dam with his own money. That is speciality of Mullai Periyar Dam. So from that, it was constructed in 1895. Mullai Periyar Dam was constructed in 1895. Then after that we got our independence, and later till date there arise a conflict between sharing of water of Mullai Periyar between Kerala and Tamil Nadu. That is about Mullai Periyar Dam. And next one is about Vaigai Dam. This dam was built across Vaigai River near Andipatti. The dam, which measures nearly 111 feet of height, and it water up to 71 feet, and it is located 7 km from Andipatti and 70 km from Madurai. So that is about Vaigai Dam. The next dams are about our river Thamiraparani. First one, Manimuttar Dam. It is located about 47 km from Tirunelveli. Manimuttar Dam constructed across river Thamiraparani. The next one, Pavanasam Dam. It is also known as Karayar Dam, and it is located about 49 km away from Tirunelveli, and this dam is used to irrigate Tirunelveli and Thoothukudi district. And the last one is about Parambikulam Aliyar project. It is a joint venture of Tamil Nadu and Kerala states. So joint, we are dividing between Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and it envisages the construction of 7 interconnected reservoirs by harnessing the water of 7 rivers, which include major rivers of Parambikulam and Aliya. So that is a joint venture. We are sharing the water of Parambikulam Aliyar Dam between Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So far we talked about river valley, multi-purpose river valley projects. Under that we finished with Mettur Dam, Bhavanisagar Dam, Amaravati Dam, Krishnagiri Dam, Sathanur Dam, Mullai Periyar, Vaigai, Manimuttar, Pavanasam and Parambikulam Aliyar project. Even though we have 81 dams and reservoirs in this state, the supply of water is less than the demand for water. So we want to manage water resources. So now we'll see why we want to manage water resources and what is water resource management. First one, water resource management. It is the activity of planning, developing and distributing, managing the optimum use of water resources. So planning, developing, distributing and managing the optimum use of water resources is called water resource management. Here the demand for water in Tamil Nadu is increasing due to increase in population and increase in per capita needs and the demand from the industrial sectors and demand from domestic sectors. So these are the reasons for increase in demand for water in Tamil Nadu. Increase in population, increase in economic activity and increase in industrial activities and domestic activities. The state is dependent on monsoon rains since the state is entirely dependent on the rains for recharging its water resources. Monsoon failures leads to acute water scarcity and severe droughts because Tamil Nadu depends on northeast monsoon only. So here we are getting only less amount of water, and sometimes there may be a failure of monsoon, so that lead to acute water scarcity and severe drought. So it is important to save water for us and for the future generation. How can we save water? First we want to construct rainwater harvestings in our domestic houses. So first one, we want to harvest rainwater, and second one, while we are using water, we should not waste the water resources. So that is about water resource management of Tamil Nadu. Next concept is about mineral resources. Tamil Nadu is filled with some minerals like vermiculite, magnetite, dunite, rutile, garnet, molybdenum, and ilmenite. Under that, vermiculite and magnetite, dunite are the forms of aluminium and iron minerals. Rutile, garnet are some other red in color. Then molybdenum and ilmenite, these are available in the coastal areas under the sea soils. The states account for nearly 55.3% of lignite, 75% of vermiculite, 69% of dunite, and 59% of garnet, and 52% of molybdenum, and 30% of titanium mineral resources. And important mineral resources are found in Neyveli, where you get lignite resources. Here coal is available in Ramanathapuram. Oil and gas are found in Kaveri Basin. In Neyveli we have lignite resources, so there we have our Neyveli Lignite Power Corporation, NLC we have. Then in coal is available in Ramanathapuram. Oil and gas are found in Kaveri Basin. Tamil Nadu, iron deposits are found in Kanjamalai region in Salem district. Magnesite ores are available in Salem. Bauxite in Servarayan Hills, Kotagiri, Udagamandalam, Palani and Kollimalai areas. Gypsum is obtained in Tiruchi, Tirunelveli, Thoothukudi and Virudhunagar district. Here gypsum is used as a raw material for making cement. Ilmenite and rutile are found in the sands of Kanyakumari beaches, and limestone is available in Coimbatore, Kadalur, Dindukkal, Kanjipuram, Karur, Madurai, Nagapattinam, Namakkal, Perambalur, Ramanathapuram, Salem and Tiruvallur district. So limestone. The next is about magnesite. It is obtained from Coimbatore, Dharmaburi, Karur, Namakkal, Nilgiris, Salem, Tiruchi, Tirunelveli and Vellore district. So that is about the availability of mineral resources of Tamil Nadu. Now we'll see what are the industries available in Tamil Nadu. Here industries use raw materials and convert them into usable products or goods. So industries is a place where they will convert raw material into a usable product. In Tamil Nadu, we have textiles, sugar, paper, leather, cement, electrical equipments, automobiles, information technology and tourism. These are considered as major industries of Tamil Nadu. Industries, first one is about textile industry. It is one of the traditionally well-developed industries in Tamil Nadu. Textile mills are concentrated in Coimbatore, Tirupur, Salem, Palladam, Karur, Dindukkal, Virudhunagar, Tirunelveli, Thoothukudi, Madurai and Erode. So these are the district where textile industries are considered as a famous one, as well as which provides more employment opportunity to the people. Erode in Tamil Nadu is well known for marketing of handloom and power loom and ready-made garments. So Erode is famous for handloom and power loom and ready-made garments. Then Coimbatore is considered as Manchester of Tamil Nadu because Coimbatore is filled with black soil. So black soil is suitable for the cultivation of cotton. So we are considering Coimbatore as Manchester of Tamil Nadu, and here you can see plenty of cotton textile industries. Coimbatore, Tirupur and Erode altogether contributes to the share of state economy through textiles. So these regions referred to as Textile Valley of Tamil Nadu. Coimbatore, Tirupur and Erode together is called as Textile Valley of Tamil Nadu, and Karur is known as the textile capital of Tamil Nadu. So that is about the textile industries of Tamil Nadu. Another textile one is silk textiles. Tamil Nadu occupies 4th position in the country in silk production. Kanjipuram silk is unique in its quality and it's well known for its traditional value all over the world. Kanjipuram is famous for traditional silks. Apart from Kanjipuram, we have Arani, Kumbakonam, Salem, Coimbatore, Madurai and Tirunelveli are the important silk weaving centers in Tamil Nadu. So that is about silk textiles of Tamil Nadu. The next one is about leather industry, and Tamil Nadu accounts for 60% of leather tanning processes of India. Tanning, that is the processing of animal skins into a leather. That is the meaning of tanning. And 38% of leather footwear, garments and components. So 30% of tanning process and 68% of leather products are produced in Tamil Nadu. Hundreds of leather tanneries are located around Vellore and Ranipet, Ambur and Vaniyambadi. Vellore, Ranipet, Ambur and Vaniyambadi. Vellore district is the top exporter of finished leather goods in the country. So for the leather export, first district is our Vellore. Here Central Leather Research Institute, that is CLRI, and CSIR, that is Council for Scientific and Industrial Research Laboratories, are located in Chennai, and there they are doing some research over this leather. That is about leather industries of Tamil Nadu. Based on the resources of Tamil Nadu, each district is famous for making a peculiar product, and that district gets the geographical indication in its product. Now we'll see about that districts. Geographical indication is a name or sign used on product which correspond to a specific geographical location. It provides rights and protection of holders. That is about geographical indication. So here in Tamil Nadu, certain places comes under with their special products. Under that, Arani silks, Kanjipuram also silk, Coimbatore is famous for wet grinders and Kora cotton, Tanjavur paintings, art plate, Dal and Veenai, Nagarkoil temple jewelry, Erode turmeric, Salem Venpattu, that is Salem silk. Bhavani is famous for Jammukalam means blankets. Madurai, you know it, Madurai is famous for Sungudi as well as for jasmine. Then Swami Malai, bronze icons. Nachiyar Koil, Kuttuvilakku. Pathamadai, Pathamadai, that belongs to our Tirunelveli district. Nilgiris, orthodox embroidery. Mahabalipuram stone sculpture, Sirumalai hill banana, Indamoli coconut. Indamuli in Kanyakumari district, it is famous for the production of coconut. As well as you can add Alva for our Tirunelveli districts. So that is about the geographical indication of Tamil Nadu. Next one is about paper industry. Tamil Nadu Newsprint and Papers Limited, that is TNPL. Tamil Nadu Newsprint and Papers Limited is a government of Tamil Nadu enterprises producing newsprint and printing and writing paper, and its mill is located at Kagidapuram in Karur district. So TNPL is at Kagidapuram in Karur district, where they are manufacturing newsprint paper, that is the paper used for the newspaper companies, and printing and writing paper what we are using, that comes from TNPL. It is in Karur district. And other paper mills of the states are found in Pukkathurai of Kanchipuram district, Bhavanisagar, Pallipalayam, Paramathivellu, Coimbatore, Udumalaippettai, Thoppambatti, Nilakottai and Cheranma Devi. So Cheranma Devi, we have Sun Paper Mills. So that is about paper industries of Tamil Nadu. Under that we have TNPL, Tamil Nadu Newsprint and Papers Limited. It is a government company. In other places we have the private companies. Last industry is about cement. Regarding the cement production, India is considered as the second position in the world regarding the production. Its total capacity is 181 million tons per year. 181 million tons. Under that, Tamil Nadu Cements Corporation Limited, TANSAM, is one of the major cement producers in Tamil Nadu, operating two cement units, one at Ariyalur and another at Alangulam in Tanjavur district. So under the government control, we have only two government cement companies. One is Ariyalur near Tiruchi and Alangulam in Tanjavur district. Then asbestos cement sheet plant at Alangulam and stone wrapped pipe unit at Virudhachalam are other units of TANSAM. Apart from government, we have Shankar Cement, Zurai Cement, Ultratech, Madras Cement and Dalmia Cement are the major private cement brands produced in Tamil Nadu. So apart from government, we have plenty of private companies also. So that is about cement industry. So regarding industries of Tamil Nadu, we finished with textiles, silk textiles, leather industry, paper industry and cement industry. And each district we have some peculiar products. Under that we talked about geographical indication of Tamil Nadu also. Now we'll move into the trending industries of Tamil Nadu, that is information technology. It is considered as a trending one and which provides employment for the professionally qualified students and contributes large share for the economy. According to National Association of Software and Services Companies, that is called NASSCOM, National Association of Software and Service Companies, they consider the southern states, that is our Andhra, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka together, they contribute nearly half of the country's total export of software in the country. Tamil Nadu and Andhra together constitutes 59.6% of India's total software export. And Tamil Nadu is the second largest software exporter in the country next to Karnataka. So in Karnataka, we are considering Bangalore. Bangalore is considered as an electronic city. Okay, Bangalore as an electronic city. So that constitute first position for the software export and second one is our Chennai. Now they are giving some examples of IT parks of Tamil Nadu, that is Tidal Park, Ascendus, Mahindra World City. Apart from this, we have plenty of IT companies in and around our Chennai region. Apart from Chennai, we can see IT parks in Coimbatore, Tiruchi, Madurai region also. And recently, in our place in Tirunelveli also, we can see some IT companies. So IT companies are considered as a trending industry for the educated youths. Now we'll see about special economic zones. To promote industrial activities of the state, the government provide a vast area of land for the construction of industries, either to the foreign companies or to the domestic companies. And this will provide an internationally competitive and hassle-free environment for exports. So here hassle-free means there is no need to pay any taxes for exports. Under this SEZ Special Economic Zone, they will manufacture goods and provide a range of services. That is, it provides huge amount of employment opportunities both in rural as well as in urban areas. SEZs are located in Nanganeri in Tirunelveli district, Ennur in Tiruvallur, Hosur in Dharmaburi district, and in Perambalur district we have special economic zones. Under this we have IT companies and ITES, that is Information Technology and Electronic Services are there. Tidal Park, already Tidal Park 1 is there in Chennai. Apart from this, we have Tidal 2 and Tidal 3 and biopharmaceuticals, that is medical research laboratories are also there in Chennai under our SEZ area. Then Tidal Park 4, it is located in Coimbatore district also. So that is about special economic zones. So the zones are free for the production of goods and as well as for the exports of goods. There is no need to pay any taxes. The government will give their land at free of cost to the industrial owners. So that is about special economic zones. The next is about manufacturing and engineering industries. Manufacturing industry broadly covers manufacture of machinery and equipment, motor vehicles, basic metals and alloy industries, metal products and repair of capital goods. That comes under manufacturing of engineering industries. The next one is about automobile industries. Tamil Nadu accounts for about 21% of passenger cars, 33% of commercial vehicles and 35% of automobile components produced in India. So from Tamil Nadu we are contributing this much for automobile industries. Then major automobile industries are Ford, Honda, HM Mitsubishi, Ashok Leyland and TAFE. These are the manufacturing automobile industries of Tamil Nadu. Considering automobile industries of Tamil Nadu, Chennai is called as the Detroit of Asia. That is, Chennai, you can see plenty of automobile industries as well as auto spare companies. So automobile industries and auto spare companies are available in plenty in number. So we are calling Chennai as a Detroit of Asia. That is about automobile industries of Tamil Nadu. Next is about handlooms and power looms. That is considered as a single largest cottage industry providing livelihood to a large number of rural people and promoting export earnings. Under this, handlooms and power looms are considered as cottage industry. That is, people they own their industry at their home and they will manufacture handloom cloths, and this will produce cloth required for the scheme of free supply of uniform to school children and free distribution of saris and dhotis. you know it, government is providing uniform to the government school children. So for that, the government will buy from this rural society, as well as for the free distribution of saris and dhotis from ration shop. Also, government will purchase from this handlooms and powerloom society from rural areas. So in that way, they are providing employment opportunity as well as securing income for them. That is about powerlooms and handlooms. We'll move into sugar industry. Sugar industry is considered as an important agro-based industry because this industry totally depends on agriculture production, and it plays for economic development of the state, particularly in rural areas. It provides large-scale direct employment to several thousands of people and indirect employment to several lakhs of farmers and agricultural laborers in rural areas. So that is about our sugar industry. That is, it provides both direct employment and indirect employment to the rural people. That is about sugar industry. The last one is about tourism industry. Why we are calling tourism as industry? Because it has enormous potential in creating employment for a large number of people. So we are calling tourism as an industry. And the Tamil Nadu state has emerged as one of the leading tourist destinations for both domestic and foreign tourists. Tourism in Tamil Nadu is promoted by Tamil Nadu Tourism Development Corporation, that is TDDC. That is the presence of ancient monuments, pilgrim centers. So here pilgrim center means holy places, hill stations, a variety of natural landscapes, long coastline along with rich culture and heritage make Tamil Nadu the best destination for tourists. So all these resources that attract the people from both domestic as well as foreign tourists, that will attract the tourists. So recent years we are considering tourism as a developing industry of our Tamil Nadu. So in today's class we learned about water resources. Under that we finished with many dams, and now we want to manage water resources, then mineral resources and different industries of Tamil Nadu, and we finished with all industries. I hope you understood this. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you, Ma.